Hello and welcome to Reality TV Cringe. I'm one of your hosts, Delia, and I'm here with my real tight homegirl and my daughter-in-law, the beautiful, the festive Beatrice.
Ho, ho, ho.
You are a hoe.
I am a hoe. We're all hoes.
We are here to talk Sister Wives Season 19, Episode 14. But before we get into it, we do have to issue you a disclaimer. Please, had your wife and had your kids. This is a politically incorrect podcast. We say a lot of stupid things, and when we do, we use a lot of bad words.
Yep.
So if you're sensitive, you
Go
might
away.
want to find yourself another dumpster, baby. But if you're down to party and go on a date to Josephine's Bistro in the attic, welcome to this dumpster.
And if you are down to party with us, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Reality TV Cringe and join us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Reality TV Cringe. We've got ad-free episodes on there. We have some holiday bonus content coming up, uncensored video pods, and more.
Wow. And it's really the ad-free
Yeah.
tier that we should tell you about because I don't know, sometimes I listen to our podcast because I'm so vain and I think we're so great. And I'm out and about. Maybe I'm doing a walk or something like that.
She's athletic.
And I am. And I'm listening to her, but there's so many ads that they insert into our podcast.
I know.
So if I were you and you wanted to get yourself a little bit more of this, but without ads on YouTube or on these platforms, definitely support us on Patreon. It's only $3 a month.
Just for ad-free.
$3.
Wow. What a deal.
Now, if you are on YouTube, first of all, hello.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Oh my gosh.
Please do not forget to like and comment and share and subscribe so we can make it to 5,000.
We're at 4.4 something now.
Oh my God. Angel numbers.
I know.
All we need to do is get to 5,000. I'll feel better
It'd be so great.
about my life.
Me too.
So please, thank you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, before we get into the episode, also, there's just like a couple of newsworthy items. In fact, they don't relate directly to Sister Wives, but these cover shows that we have recapped before. And so we just kind of want to go over these items. If you want to skip ahead, if you're on YouTube, I'll try and drop a little timestamp so you can go right to the recap. And if you're listening on the podcast, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. I'm booming out.
Just skip it. Just skip it if you
I'm
want.
here booming out. I mean, just figure it out. Yeah, fast forward. But or listen to it because this is great information.
It's juicy.
And I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Starting with James Kennedy. Bitch.
I know.
From Vanderpump Rules. We did cover Vanderpump Rules last year. I have
Season
watched
11.
every single season.
Yep.
I have never liked James
liked him.
Kennedy. I observed with my own raccoon eyes how he treated Kristen, spit on Kristen. I remember the fight at the wedding where we saw Kristen hit him, but apparently and allegedly James hit her first and production cut it. So we only ever see Kristen hitting him.
Yikes.
But Kristen has definitely alluded in the press that it was an abusive relationship. And of course, Raquel slash Rachel has alluded, she's been very careful, but she has alluded to the fact that her relationship with James was physically abusive.
Yeah.
And then last week, honey.
Girl, this fucker got arrested for domestic violence or whatever. I guess him and an unnamed woman were in an altercation, but there was no injuries or anything reported on TMZ. A neighbor called 911 and it was bad enough that charges were pressed or whatever. And then he was released on bail, I think, for like 20 G's or something like that.
And Allie came out very quickly and said nothing happened.
It was a
It's
misunderstanding.
complete and total misunderstanding. But then
The police report got released and it said that a man, like, what was it, threw a woman?
picked her up and then threw her down
on the ground.
And this was reported by somebody who observed it.
Yeah.
So the way that it's being reported and the way that it reads is like there's a third party that saw it, But I think other people are saying that it was Allie who actually told the police that when they arrived. So I'm not quite sure. But either way, there was enough evidence there at the scene that they arrested him and took him in. And he recently released a statement.
Oh, he did?
I think I sent it to you on Instagram.
I don't remember.
Very PR, very like, yes, I need to take some time. I really appreciate having some privacy as I focus on myself and my sobriety. But we've heard this same song and dance from James Kennedy season after season after season. And I remember telling you at the top of last season, don't like him too much.
Yeah.
Because this guy's a dirtbag.
Yeah, and I only ever watched season 11 when he was like getting sober and he was with Allie. And I'm like, oh, like he seems okay. Like maybe he's turning his life around. Maybe it's just the booze that makes him violent. And then he goes and does this.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck you then.
Yeah.
Like literally fuck you in the ass. Because
this is the third woman.
like, fuck you. I don't know who it was. Like people are assuming it's Allie and like they're commenting on her page like, girl, you're not safe, get out of there, whatever. But she's saying it's all a misunderstanding. That's like typical for DV victims too, to kind of like protect the abuser. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know who it was.
It takes 7 attempts before somebody who's being abused actually gets out of the relationship. Today on Instagram, I saw pictures of James and Allie moving out of the house and into an Airbnb.
What?
Because apparently her family has come into town, so she's going to go stay with her family. You've got pictures of James like moving all of her stuff out in boxes.
Whoa.
But there are some people who are saying this is all just for publicity, like she's going to stay at the Airbnb for a little while, but then they're going to be right back together because this is all fake. Fake rehabilitation of his image.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens with that. But
yes.
Fuck you, James.
Fuck you, James. Fuck you forever. And you should lose your residency in Las Vegas, which I think he actually did.
Really?
I think he actually did. Although I know he was DJing this weekend in Wisconsin. But like, I think people are starting to drop him because like enough is enough.
Yeah.
And also, Lisa Vanderpump, your silence is deafening. You spent, I don't know how many seasons advocating for James, getting him help, giving him chance after chance after chance. Where are you?
Right.
Why aren't you talking about this? You should be saying something.
Well, there were a lot of comments on Instagram that I was reading of people being like, we were rooting for you, James. Like, we thought you like actually turned your life around. Like, you make us all look bad. Like, fuck you. Like, you're a piece of shit. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, well, I only had season 11 frame of reference, you know, and I said that a million times when we were doing our recaps, like, don't fucking take my shit for like anything. But now I'm like, oh, that's disappointing. 'Cause I thought you weren't going to be a piece of shit. Now you're doing this. So fuck you.
He's a bad person. In other Vanderpump news, apparently Tom Sandoval, who we all can agree is an absolute trash bag of a human being, has been dating this chick named Victoria, who is to me, just based on my intuition, a whole and complete clout goblin.
Yeah.
She's only with Tom Sandoval because she was hoping she could be on the newest season of Vanderpump Rules. And then psych, the series gets pulled. They're going to revamp the entire thing. So apparently she made some post on Instagram alluding to the fact that everybody was right about Tom and he's a fucking cheater. And then Tom Sandoval at like 6 a.m. LA time got up on live on Instagram and started talking about this whole thing. And then Victoria made a post and said, my bad, it was a miscommunication.
Oh my God.
Suffice it to say, Tom's life is in shambles because Tom Sandoval lost his bar with Tom Schwartz.
That's closed.
Right?
Yep.
He lost Ariana, who is a goddess.
Literal goddess.
He is still in a lawsuit with Ariana over the status of their home and the sale of their home.
And with Rachel and
He
Raquel,
is also in a lawsuit with Raquel for the dissemination of revenge prawn. And now he's got this weird relationship with this girl and drama in the press. Now, some people think he's doing it on purpose so that he can be maybe a part of the new Vanderpump.
What a loser.
With his new interesting relationship with this woman.
like anybody cares.
I don't care. I want to say he's 45 years old.
Yeah.
He's had his shot at it.
Washed up.
He sucks at singing.
Yep.
He sucks at taking care of women.
Yep.
He sucks at life. We don't need to see him on our television.
No, not at all. Just like Kody Brown. Get out of here.
And I guess he's going to now be representing himself in his lawsuits.
I
He
saw that.
fired his lawyers. You know what that means, right?
Yeah.
He's running out of money. Honey.
Yeah.
So yikes, Tom.
I love it,
I
honestly.
want to see what happens with you in 2025. We might want to put something on the
On
vision
the vision board
board,
for that.
By the way, we're going to be creating and collaborating on our 2025 raccoon vision board only on Patreon.
Only on Patreon.
And that's New Year's Eve. We're going to be dropping
Yeah.
that. I'm excited about it. I
Me
got
too.
so many ideas.
Me too.
We're collaborating with the universe.
We are.
All right. Final bit of news concerns the beauteous, the wholesome, and the wonderful Lydia Plath from Welcome to Plathville.
Yeah, she's engaged to a very
Be nice. I just take a breath.
very Christian,
Very.
oof, dorky looking guy. Sorry. That's me being nice.
Yeah.
He's totally out of Lydia's league. But you know
No,
what?
she's out of his league.
Or sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I meant. But at least she's happy. I don't think they're kissing though. Like all their
That's what I'm
engagement
saying.
photos, they're like their cheeks are like right up against each other and like they're holding hands and stuff and she's like super happy. And then I guess like a wedding invitation got leaked or something on the Reddits.
There's a wedding website.
Okay.
And one of the pages on the website deals with inquiries about the wedding. And if anyone has inquiries, to reach out to Lydia's mother, Miss Kim.
Miss Kim.
And Kim Plath, the narcissist, the malignant, abusive narcissist, Kim Plath, actually put her real phone number on a website that we can all access, forgetting, of course, that we're raccoons with nothing better to do but investigative journalism in the dumpster.
I hope people are prank calling her.
Me too.
Oh my
She don't have to change her phone number.
He's so good.
But she's got a wedding website. She's got herself a young boy, man. She's got herself trapped in purity culture. And I guess she's engaged.
You know, I'm happy for him.
Hey.
I wonder if we'll see him on season 6, 7. What are we on? I wonder if it'll be on the new season. I'd rather see their
Probably.
relationship than Olivia.
Or Micah's.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't care. Literally don't care.
I don't care either.
But if it's interesting. She's happy. At first, she was like not revealing his face. Like she was showing photos on her Instagram. She's like, I'm happy, and was keeping his identity secret.
I wonder why, though.
I mean, y'all should go look at the pictures. I'm just like, ugh.
Listen, every girl needs a first husband. So you go, Lydia.
Oh my God.
So that concludes our newsworthy items.
Yeah.
Just wanted to share that with y'all. Now let's get into the most recent episode of Sister Wives Again, season 19, episode 14, entitled
The Truth Will Set You Free.
And Ain't That the Truth?
But there's no truth to be told.
I thought there was a lot of truth because I know you
From
told me
where?
that this episode was going to be a slog.
It was.
That it was boring as hell. And
was.
I agree. Anything with Christine is boring. But I thought the conversation with Mary, where she's using her friends as puppets, I thought there was a lot that was divulged in that conversation. And I can't wait to get to
I don't
it.
know. I was kind of pissed at Mary, so we'll have to talk
Okay.
about it.
All right.
She's annoying to me.
Okay.
But we have like 3 major things that happen in this episode. We
Yes.
have Christine wearing a white dress at an engagement party
Yes.
at some taco place, and she spills taco juice on her dress. Then we have Kody and Robyn going on a stupid fucking date at
Yikes.
Josephine's Bistro in the
Yikes.
attic.
Yikes.
Fake talking about church stuff, and then Kody saying that Robyn's pretty, and then Mary with her friends in Vegas talking shit about Kody,
Yeah.
which was all right. It was all right.
Okay,
But
come
Mary's
on now.
annoying. But let's start with the most boring part,
Yeah.
Christine with her engagement thing. Janelle looked fabulous.
That is what I want to talk about.
I mean, she looks so great.
First of all, that hot pink is her
Love it.
color,
Yes.
bitch. And that dress style on her body, yaddy, yaddy.
I'm like,
she
work.
looked like $1,000,000. And as soon as everybody saw her in that chain restaurant, everybody was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you are looking beautiful. And she is.
She is.
Tell me there's not a cowboy daddy out there.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
that would just like to live up on all
Oh
of
my
that, honey.
God, a big
Come
old
on.
strapping cowboy.
Yes, big old belt buckle.
Big old boots.
Big old,
Mm.
big old. I want Janelle to live.
Me
That's all I'm
too.
saying. In 2025, I want her to live.
Put it on the vision board.
Okay.
Put it on the vision
She
board.
looked stunning.
She did. And then we have Christine wearing white.
Right.
Because she's got to wear white and everybody's making fun of her because she's going to spill food on it.
Is this content?
No.
I mean, is this worthy of a television show that garners 1 million people a week watching?
No.
Like, is this the best you can fucking do, TLC? I dare say not.
Well, we did get a speak pipe, which we'll talk about in our next episode later this week. But we had somebody say...
You take it on.
What?
Okay, so keep it on.
It's festive.
Keep it on, all right.
It's festive.
Okay.
We had a speak pipe of somebody saying that she heard a rumor about the reason why we're seeing so much Christine and David stuff is because it was like all B-roll for the show. Because originally they were going to have a lot of Garrison content. But then after his passing, because I guess Kody and the boys were fighting a lot. And so when he passed,
Really?
they must have removed it. And so now we have all of this Christine and David stuff. We have all this Christine and David stuff.
That is so dumb.
I agree.
That is really ill-advised on a professional level. If I'm the producers and I've got content where the eldest sons are challenging their father, I'm going to use it. And I understand, like, we want to respect Garrison, but, like, is the answer to that just erasing him?
No.
Erasing his memory? Nobody's talking about him? No, like, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting thing. She did say it was like a rumor type of a thing. I could totally see that's why we have all of this filler content. But I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, you have all of this other footage, dude. This is stuff that's like 2 years old. Like, you could film more recent shit. We could just catch up to present day. Like, why are we watching all this crap? So I don't know what it is, but...
Okay, well, I guess that's a theory.
I guess.
And if that's the case, then I mean, I just have lost all confidence in this particular production company. I will say that this scene, I mean, is just, it's a regurgitation, a reiteration of every other scene with Christine and David, whether it's cake shopping or dress shopping or venue shopping. It's like the same kind of thing. It is incredibly boring as a viewer, and we can root for Christine, and I do.
Yeah, for sure.
I can root for David. I think he's a good person, good man. We do feel that way, but God, make it interesting. This is not interesting.
No.
I loved seeing Hunter. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I loved seeing Hunter. I like seeing Hunter show up for his family. He's such a faithful, loyal child and man. I liked, I guess, seeing the interaction between David sharing his food with Hunter. But, like, honestly, is this the most we can do with David and Hunter, or Christine and Hunter, or Hunter in the room? We could be talking to Hunter. We could ask Hunter's perspective on this divorce and his mom's divorce. What are we doing?
Exactly. No, instead we're just talking about Christine stain on her shirt and sharing food and how it's weird that David doesn't like to share food, which I'm just like, that's not weird. I don't like to share food.
Oh, God, you can't catch me. Don't even look at my food. Sideways, full on. We're fighting.
No, for real. That's how I knew your daughter was the one.
Really?
Our first date, because she literally took a bite of my food and I didn't want to, like, pounce on her. I was like,
really?
Bitch. No.
That's interesting, because she grew up with a mama who's like, this is my
don't touch
food. Yeah, because when I grew up, like, food was kind of
scarce.
It wasn't scarce, but it was like definitely an important commodity in my poverty family.
Yeah.
And so, like, when I had food, that was my food.
Yeah.
And I do not share to this day. If I'm giving my husband a bite, that means I love you.
Exactly.
That means I truly do like you.
That's how I am too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable.
I know.
But yeah, like Christine wearing white and talking about
so extra
burrito tacos and the consomme. Like, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? And McKelty.
Oh my God. Get off the TV, dude. She's so annoying.
Christine saying McKelty and David are so alike. It's like I'm marrying McKelty. No.
Ew.
You and McKelty are so alike. It's like David is marrying McKelty.
Exactly.
Which is weird.
It's all weird.
Yep.
It's even weird to say. It's like I'm marrying my daughter. Huh? Can you not?
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Yes.
So that was it. Then we have Robyn and Goblin going on a date. And Kody is so excited.
Now, I've seen people posting about this scene. I've seen commentators addressing this scene, trying to deal with the subject matter that's being discussed between Robyn and Kody as if this is a real thing that's happening in their life. Like, Robyn has an actual authentic concern for her children going to church. No, this is all, to me, this is all Robyn and Kody driven.
Yep.
They sat down and they said, well, what should we talk about? Because now that all the wives are gone and we're going to have to create content and we're going to have to share our lives, we've got to come up with some kind of a storyline.
Yep.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Like drunk miss.
Oh my God.
Hi, babe. Are you bringing me an alcoholic beverage?
Wow.
Oh,
my
just
God. It
like
always
I
is.
like it. What was I saying? I was saying that they had to sit down. They had to figure out amongst themselves what kind of storyline they needed to come up with. Something that wouldn't expose them too much, that it was a safe topic that they could expound on and seem philosophical and wise, and her supportive of her kids. And this is what they came up with.
Yep.
And so this scene at Josephine's in the attic is just that. It's not real.
No, it's
I don't
not.
think this is an actual issue for Aurora and Brianna. It's all ridiculous.
I know. And talking about figuring out what church that they're going to go to. And Cody's like, yeah, it'd be fine if they went to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Because,
if there was a cute boy there.
yeah, it's fine there. And then Robyn's like, well, I want to go to church. And the girls want to go to church. And Cody's like, well, I want to go too. Don't cock block me. I want to go because I got to make sure nobody's looking at you like you're a single mom because you're so hot, so desirable.
So weird.
I mean,
it's all, it's
what the
very,
fuck?
It's odd. It's strange. I don't understand. But you know what I can say? Like, Kody is legitimately smitten with his wife.
Yeah, it's
the
gross.
way that he looks at her.
Oh my gosh.
He never looked at the other wives like that. The way that he loves her, he is so sprung and dumb in love with Robyn. For whatever reason, he just is.
Oh, yeah. And didn't he say, like, right before they went on the date, he's just like, I love doing lovey things with this woman. Like, he's so obsessed with her. But then still to this day, no, I've never favored her.
Right.
No, I loved all my wives. But actually, no, I didn't. I didn't love any of the other ones except for Robyn. It's like so crazy to me that he can't just admit, like Christine admits, that this is your soulmate, dude. And it's actually unfortunate because they're like the worst couple. And like, I can't even like look at their love and be like, oh, wow, that's so sweet. Like when Robyn's talking about the lightning bolt that jolted through her pussy when she saw him, she's like recalling it like it was so magical and amazing. And Cody's just like, oh, I couldn't take my eyes off of you. It's like, ew.
Take my eyes off of you. Yeah, it was all very, very strange. There were a few things of interest to me in this particular scene. First and foremost, Kody's commentary on the culty nature of the AUB, I assume, specifically because he said he'd be okay if they went to the LDS church, even if it was for boys. He mentions like he'd be open to them exploring Buddhism or finding Jesus in some other way, and how religion often acts as an obstacle to true faith. Like, all of this is so true. And I resonate with that if it wasn't a madman that was actually saying these things, because he's crazy. But I could only think to myself as I'm listening to him and even agreeing with him, I'm like, isn't it rich and isn't it convenient that you get to have this position after you took your entire family through the system of polygamy and religion, a really toxic, chauvinistic and sexist, racist religion. You indoctrinated all of them. You required that they go to this church or believe in this specific way or go to a kind of school that's in alignment with that. And now you've got the luxury, after you've blown up your entire family, to be like, yeah, well, it doesn't really align with my faith anymore. The only thing it really did was provide challenges for me. And those challenges took me to my prayers and allowed me to know God better, which sounds good. But it's like, wow, but you've left this toxic wake behind you, which are your children.
Yeah.
And their lives and all of the things that they're going to have to deal with in order to process this trauma. And it's fucking sad. And I wish I could hear you talking a little bit about that.
Yes, please. Like when he said he was tired of the cult-like churches and all this stuff, I'm like, are you kidding, dude? We saw you act as a preacher on TV. Like, you've been preaching about this religion and polygamy and how great it is for fucking 18 seasons. Like, get fucked. It pisses me off that all of the adults in this family,
Yes.
except for
Yes.
like Mary, have abandoned this religion and abandoned this church, but nobody's talking about it. Nobody's owning up to it, being like, yeah, like we really, what is the word, proselytized? Like on TV for 18 seasons, and now we're just like not a part about it, because not a part of it anymore because of X. Like they're not going into any of that.
Like, and even if you don't talk to us about like how this came about for you, but at least refer to it. Like at some point last year, you know, I had a moment down on my knees and I realized this is not like, talk to us a little bit, refer back to it and talk to us, give us some context, because just all of a sudden being angry about it or calling it a cult, which it is.
It is. Yeah.
Thank you. That's what it is.
Yep.
But like, Jesus crackers, give me more than that.
Right.
So annoying.
It's really annoying. I would much rather have conversations about religion every single episode than watching Christine spill fucking juice on her shirt. I'm just like, I can't.
Another thing that I thought was very, very fascinating, Beatrice, was when they were getting into their villain origin story, how they met at church, which to me, like, and of course, you know, I've got the memory of a June bug, so I don't remember a lot, but I thought that Robyn and Kody met at some dance, and that it was Mary who made the entree and introduced Kody to Robyn. But the way that Kody is talking about it in this episode is that he was at church and he was talking to his friend and he saw her across the room wearing her diesel jeans, honey, and just cutting a breakdance move. She looked so fly and everything.
They locked eyes.
And he just looked into her soul and she looked into his soul and boom, that was it. And then coincidentally, what a coinky dink.
Right.
A couple weeks later, Robyn happens to see him at her cousin's house or something like that.
At like Mary's cousin's house. It was Mary was involved.
Or somebody's cousin.
Yeah.
Was it Mary? But I thought it was Robyn's because I don't even know.
Girl.
But like, this is not the story that you told in season 1 when I did watch that. And didn't Kody say at the time that he got the ick from Robyn? Because she was married, or like she had been married and had kids, and like that actually when he first met her, he was like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it was this magical lightning bolt moment where you guys were bonded by infinity.
Right.
Get your stories straight, you dummies.
Well, they can't because they were probably seeing each other for a little bit beforehand and they're keeping it hidden. I mean, and he was like spending weekends in St. George to go visit her and court her during their courtship. So there's a lot that they're not saying. And they've kept their relationship hidden, I think, since the very beginning. Because Kody alludes to that even now. Like, I had to hide a lot of my relationship with Robyn because the other wives were jealous. It's like, yeah, what else were you hiding? I don't know. I don't believe their origin story. I don't believe the whole lightning bolt through my body.
And her testimony, her witnessing vibe. I don't either. Well, Brandy kind of calls it out in the later scene with Mary. She's like, oh, you mean the cheating that took place?
Yeah.
Yeah, because maybe that's what Mary thought it was. And that's what Mary's telling her friends. Wasn't that like she introduced Kody to Robyn, but it was rather that he was cheating.
Yep.
That they found each other and then maybe they orchestrated and or coordinated this entire thing to get together. And again, we have talked in the past about how Robyn probably had her ear to the ground, knew that they were going to be filming a show about polygamy, heard that it was going to be centered around the Browns, and then insinuated herself into this family because she wanted the clout, she wanted the fame, she wanted the money. The money, honey.
100%. And honestly, that's like the point where Kody became a monogamist. That's the point where he started probably questioning his faith. Like, man, do I really got to be married to all these other wives that I just like am not into because I've got this sweet breakdancing pussy over here in St. George that I'm just in love with because she's so shy and pretty. Like maybe that's when he started questioning things. Or I don't know. Maybe it was after Wynn died because his dad was the one that kind of converted him into this whole faith. Maybe it disillusioned him. I don't know. But I'm just like, I don't care about your guys' origin story. I don't care about your love. I don't care about you guys. I think you're terrible people. Go away.
Yep.
Over it.
Yep. I am as well.
And then the rest of the episode was Mary and her friends in Vegas totally talking shit about Kody.
Right. So I thought that Kody commenting about Mary's friends talking shit on her behalf was 100% accurate.
Yep.
Because for the last, I don't know how many episodes, we've got Mary surrounded by her friends, whether that's Nate and Rebecca, whether that's Jen, whether it's Brandy from a previous episode,
Hillary,
whether it's those
Andrea.
randos at La Calais, La
Lakai.
Kai, sorry. And then now here again with Jen. And like she's bringing in these random people that we really haven't been introduced to other than Jen. And we're having these people share these opinions that we actually also have as well. And I think it's Mary asking them to do that.
Yeah.
Asking them to have these conversations that she's been having with these women for years, but she wants them to speak up so that she doesn't have to. And something about that really bothers me.
Me too.
Now, of course, in her interstitial, in her talking head, she calls Kody a dumbass, and she does talk about Robyn not being reciprocal and all of that good stuff. So she is sharing and revealing, but like you don't need these random women to tell us the truth about your life.
Yep.
And to share what it is you actually went through. You don't need them to say the harder and uglier things. Like, we really want to see that from you.
Oh, yeah. And then it's really rich to me that Mary in her talking head talks about how she wants to be more mature than the other ex-wives on the show because she saw how everybody acted last season on TV and thought it was inappropriate and that we could do better. But then she has her friends talking shit for her because she doesn't have the balls to do it. And then she's calling Kody a dumbass also in her talking head. It's like so hypocritical. Like just say it with your full chest and worthy up. Like that's why she pissed me off.
Yes.
It's not so much that I'm pissed that she's like hanging out with her friends or that they're talking shit for her. It's just like, you're so not honest. And then you're going to throw in digs like that to Janelle and Christine because of the way they acted last seasons. And then you have Janelle kind of quipping back in her talking head being like, I just spoke my mind, ho. Like, what are you talking about? I wasn't being mean. I wasn't being
standing
terrible.
up for myself and for my kids.
Exactly. So I don't know why Mary has to do shit like that.
Yeah.
That annoys me.
It annoys me too. And I just feel like, and I hate to beat the drum every week, but I just feel like it's indicative of the fact that she hasn't actually healed.
Yeah.
If she feels like she needs to use people as a proxy to actually air the things that she wants to say. Like if you were truly empowered, if you truly had your throat chakra open all day, you would have no problem saying exactly how you feel to Kody, Robyn, and anybody else. And so that just, I was just like, oh, that's annoying.
Yeah.
But separating that from the content of the conversation, like I think we should do that because some of the things that came out, I thought were great. For example, Brandy saying like, I knew that he was favoriting Robyn from the very beginning. That's what I saw. And so that's that blanket statement that we all agree with as audience members. And then you have Mary saying to the camera, well, I don't think Robyn came into this family intending to drive the original three wives away. But what she doesn't say is what we really want to hear, which is, but at some point that became her agenda. And that is exactly what she did.
Exactly. But that's the thing is like Mary's always got a cover for Robyn and Kody at some points. Like I think she was talking about Robyn not being reciprocal or something, but she's like, well, you know, I've tried. Like, I don't think Robyn's a bad person. It's like, why do you got to do that? Just be honest. And then they talked about Robyn crying at Coyote Pass during Mary and Kody's breakup situation. And Mary's just like, yeah, like I have no doubt that Robyn was definitely devastated.
Right.
It's like, Mary, think for 1 second. Why would she be devastated?
Yeah.
Literally, like, come on.
And then they show the flashback,
crying.
and it's more obvious now than ever how Robyn just showed up to Coyote Pass that day to perform empathy or her approximation of empathy. She doesn't actually know what empathy is because she's a complete narcissist, in my opinion. But I'm just like, it's wild. But I don't know why Mary feels the need to continue to somewhat protect Robyn and Kody, but she is being more bold than ever.
A little bit, yeah.
She's talking about COVID, right? And Jen wants to talk about COVID and how Robyn was constantly saying, I'm here for you, girl. I will be there for you. And then in times of deep importance, actually never showed up. Case in point would be the funeral of Bonnie, Mary's mother, how Robyn didn't go Kody went though, and Janelle went though. And then you've got Robyn giving her excuses. Well, but we couldn't both quarantine and the kids.
Bunch of bullshit.
Even though they have a nanny, even though they have 3 adult children in the house who are not going to the funeral that can stand in the gap. She's making all of these lame and dumb excuses, further illustrating what Jen and what Mary is saying is that like she's just all words, all talk, and doesn't actually show up, never actually showed up for Mary, who we can visualize sitting in her haunted Flagstaff rental during COVID with her long list given to her by Kody, which they also talk about. This list of things which she has been performing and doing infidelity and being isolated and alone and reaching out and saying, hey, do you think I can come over and see Saul and Ari? Or would you guys like to have some dinner? Or hey, Robyn, you want to get some coffee? Anything, anything. But it's crickets. Just imagine what it would have been like for Mary in those 2-3 years or however long it was.
Oh my gosh.
Just trying to be a part of a family on the outside looking in to this warm, beautiful place, and she's not invited in. It is fucking crushing and heartbreaking. And Mary, I would love for you to talk about it in those kind of gritty terms.
Honestly, but she never will because she doesn't like to be vulnerable and she doesn't like to talk about the things that hurt her. And like even in these moments, she's talking to her friends being like, yeah, like I haven't cried in like 10 years. Like I'm over it, like whatever. It's like, no, be honest. Like you would have worked on things if Kody even gave you an inch and he didn't. And like you didn't want to divorce him. Like you read off your text to him about how you didn't want this to happen and you got the release and you wish him nothing but joy and love. And it's like, I don't know. Mary's just such an enigma. Like doesn't want to be vulnerable, gives us these little nuggets because she knows that's what people want. And that's it. But like with the whole Robyn stuff, I liked that part where she was discussing that and totally outing Robyn because Robyn's a fucking snake and has never cared about Mary. But I do think like the funeral of her mom was like the last straw with Robyn. I just wish she could be like real. Like, why didn't you just not accept her dumb junk journal gift when she gave it to you when you were moving? Like, why didn't you just be like, fuck you?
Or like if your friends just say like, wow, I've been texting you every day for like, or I've been trying to reach out to you. How come you don't write me back? How come you guys don't talk to me? Is it because this is just for the cameras? Like if this is me and you, I'm going to be absolutely 100 with you. I'm going to tell you how I feel. That's what friends do. We talk about it if we're upset. So it just speaks to how false the entire thing actually was. I also love the flashback, I have to say, speaking of Robyn and staying on this for just a moment, of Kody talking to Mary after the fact when he's at the Flagstaff, when he's moving her out or whatever, Nate's there. And he's just like, yeah, well, we could have had that conversation without Robyn. And Mary's like, absolutely.
Duh.
It kind of looked like when you're watching Mary, it kind of looked like she wanted to say, well, absolutely. Like, why did we have to have Robyn there? This is our relationship. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
But then he goes on to say, poor girl. Poor Robyn. Oh my God. It was so hard on her.
Woo!
And then they all kind of laugh about just how ridiculous it is that he would be so cut off from any compassion for Mary that he would realize that it was difficult for Mary in that moment. It's because he doesn't care. And as we have said, doesn't care that she lives or that she dies. He just wants her money.
Yep. And that's why her friends also call her out in the scene and say, like, you have Stockholm syndrome. Like, you're literally keep going back to your captor. Like, what's wrong with you? And then Mary and her talking head, I don't believe I have Stockholm syndrome. It's a little dramatic. I don't have that. Yes, you do.
And she's like, it's because I'm committed and it's because I'm faithful. That's true too. I believe that.
Yes.
But you should acknowledge the fact that you stayed in it for many, many, many years longer than you should have. And that had an impact not just on you, but like everybody in that family, including Leon. All of this is germane and important, but you won't talk about it.
Yep. Dude, if she was like the first one to leave, I feel like everyone else would have left much sooner.
Maybe.
Like Christine left and then Janelle and then Mary all within 3 years. Like if Mary would have been the first one after the catfish and she was like, you know what? You haven't fucked me in 6 years. Like I'm leaving, deuces. maybe it would have been different for the family. I'm not putting it all on Mary.
Right.
It's just like Mary's failure to act, and then now she's in this like empowerment era, which is great.
But
I'm happy for her.
Is it
But
even
it's like
empowerment if you have to have your friends say the things you don't want to say?
exactly
Because you still love him. And she even says to Brandy and Jen in this conversation, I loved him and I still love him.
Yes. I'm like, why? What is there to love?
I don't know, but she does it finally calls him out in her talking head. Like, I've seen the things Kody has been saying about me, and like he's super comfortable talking mad shit about me, and I don't understand why I have to be the nice one, why I have to continue to be like so kind and so respectful when you're out here acting a fool. And this was connected to when she got her release, and then sent him that text, which she badly wanted to read for us, to demonstrate and show us how beyond the drama she is. But she is the drama. She's part of the drama. She's fueling this drama currently. So she reads a text about saying, hey, I got the release. I just want you to know, thank you so much for all of the years, the joy, the good times. You do not have to worry about me. I got this. And Kody's predictable and poisonous response is to call her all defensive and upset. And they kind of conflate him calling her with the conversation they had on camera, which is him asking, why did she do it so soon?
Right.
I mean, is there another guy or whatever? But like he calls, they have a conversation. Mary has to put him in his place a little bit. And then she has to tell us, like, I don't have to put up with his crap anymore. Like, there's no reason for me to do that. I'm
correct.
Like, okay, fine.
But then why do you write a check to pay off a quarter of Coyote Pass? And you go down to Flagstaff to go and see Kody in his house and talk to him and then rat on Janelle. Like, why do you still have to cover for him and Robyn on TV in front of everybody else? And you're like, not like, you're quick to call him a dumbass, but then in another scene you're like, no, but I still love him.
I know.
He's still a good guy.
Well, but in fairness, her interstitial calling him a dumbass is taking place months after she's on the couch in Brandy's home saying that she loves him. So there's even more footage that she's seen. There's hopefully even more development that she's made on a personal, psychological, and spiritual level. So maybe she's in a better place and she can see more clearly. But I mean, frankly, in her interstitials that are current, like, she's still missing the point. She's still dodging the full truth. She's also dodging the accountability that all of these adults have for the damage that has been done to all of them, but namely the children and their finances. Like, they're not actually addressing any of that the way they should be.
Oh, well, there was a interview that she did, I think on like Entertainment Weekly or something. It's on YouTube, and it's a whole like 10 minutes of her giving breadcrumbs. But she does kind of allude to the fact of like Coyote Pass and it being paid off and stuff, because the interview's like, yeah, we just saw that you guys paid it all off. Like, are things better now? Like, are you guys gonna sell it? Like, does everybody get their equal share? And she's like, it's still not settled. Like, to this day, it's still not settled. They're still trying to fight it. They're still figuring it out.
Year of our Lord, November or December 2024.
Exactly. So that is kind of interesting. She's like, I think the interview asked her, are we going to see it on the next season? And Mary's like, yeah, it's still an ongoing issue. So like, we're going to still see more of that. Maybe it'll be interesting, like, once we get caught up more to present time. I don't know. But like,
okay.
I was just going to say, like, that's like the frustrating thing about TLC production. Like, we're seeing these moments of Mary where she's still kind of pathetic and like still having her friends talk for her, and she still hasn't #worthied up. But like, maybe in another season it'll be better. Maybe she'll talk a little bit more shit. I don't know. I'm holding out hope. I shouldn't.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I feel like she's 53 or 54 years old at this point, and I just don't see her utilizing the tools that are available to her. I just don't see her kind of saying the things that would be indicative of benchmarks of progress.
Right.
I don't mean to be a judgy bitch, though.
Well,
and I'm not like trying to presume to tell her how to heal or to how to be a better person. It's just like what I'm seeing. And it's not her fault, maybe. Like, it's the producers, too. It's the way they cut everything up. Like, you can tell in the talking heads, even when they're talking on one subject matter, like, they're cutting it up so much. Like, you don't even know what they said in a continuous way. Like, we don't even really know what's actually being said because of the way that TLC is producing this actual show.
Yes, it's really terrible, honestly. I'm like, it's turning into such produced crap. I mean, it's been like that for a bit, but it's like even more so this season because it's just so fake. And then next week, we're going to be seeing more of that. So we have Christine trying on her wedding dress, her custom wedding dress, and I'm just like, why didn't you get
We're
it fitted,
call
though?
it the dumpy dress.
I'm like, why didn't you get it fitted,
The
though?
dumpy dress.
Shit. It's falling off her shoulders.
Yep.
And then Mary breaks something.
Yeah, she's like with some new friends.
Oh, yeah.
Who are probably going to talk shit about Kody and Robyn,
Again.
and they're breaking some sign that says Kody and Mary, or I don't care.
Something like that. Maybe it's the
mission statement.
mission statement, but was it all in metal? I don't know.
think so. I don't know. We'll
I don't
see.
know. And then we have Robyn talking about the family accusations and then saying she feels like she's been gaslit.
Oh my God. Let's see what you have to say this week, Robyn.
Girl.
Please. How do you spin this in that small little chipmunk brain of yours so that you think that it makes sense to the rest of us watching?
Being
you are
gaslit?
delulu.
That's so unbelievable to me.
Well, a narc will gaslight you
for sure.
and then claim to be gaslighted.
Right.
That's
exactly.
what she's doing.
I'm just like, man, dig yourself a deeper grave, girl.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are never coming back from this shit.
Never.
And did you see that My Sister Wife's Closet, I think, is back up or like trying to be back up?
No.
Yeah, I think there's like, well, I don't know if it's like new products are getting put up on there. The site's still active. So I'm wondering if she's going to still try and sell stuff or she's going to do a rebrand of all that terrible jewelry. But y'all are going to have to figure out how to make some money.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Kody's at the gun show selling gun accessories.
Right.
Maybe that's why he's doing cameos.
Because he can no longer sell actual like guns. I read it again on Reddit that he lost his ability to sell the guns in the way that he used to.
Yeah.
So now he's doing accessories and stupid things like that. But like he knows every time he shows up at that Tucson convention center with all of his shit, like there's gonna be so many raccoons hoping me and you, if you still lived in Arizona, and we would be going to every gun show in Utah, in Vegas, we'd be looking for Kody Brown
100%. And some of the photos that people have gotten on Reddit are so unflattering, like his bald spot and his curly blonde hair. I'm just like, I can't.
Well,
there was also
he talked about his hair.
Yeah, he did.
He talked about his hair.
Oh yeah, on the date about the AUB.
Yeah, he was talking about the AUB because apparently the AUB tapped him to be like a Bible study leader or something like that. He wanted him to be a leader in the faith, but they said, but you got to cut your hair because it's rebellious. And then he got all mad, and because that's an ego wound, and how dare you tell me how I should keep my hair if it's not against the law or against God's law, like don't tell me anything. Because of course his hair was that precious to him.
It still is. He wears a hairnet to protect the few tendrils that are still hanging.
It's ridiculous and it's wonderful at the same time.
He's gonna be one of those old guys that has a comb over with 3 hairs on it, just so he can say, I'm not bald though.
Yep.
I'm not bald.
Right. Which I love.
I love it too.
So insecure.
I love it.
So driven by madness.
I know.
It's just what I love to watch.
So good.
Is there anything else that we want to talk about this episode? We should mention that it doesn't appear that there's going to be an episode this Sunday.
I think there's going to be a holiday break, allegedly.
Due to Christ Moss.
Yeah.
Moss Christ.
Yes.
More Christ.
X-Moss.
So we will not be here next week.
We're going to take a little break.
Well, I mean, it's the holidays.
Yeah, we're going to get drunk.
Well, indeed.
Play Mario.
Yes,
and,
and we're going to just have fun, open presents, and do all of that. I don't think there's going to be an episode in the first place.
Right.
And so the next time we will be here is the following week. But of course, we're going to probably have to film that on New Year's Day, which is a Tuesday. Are you willing to do that for the pod, for the dumpster? I'm willing to do that too.
Usher in the new year with some new trash.
What if there is an episode that drops on Sunday? Do you want to meet at Christmas? I mean, we're already meeting to exchange presents. And then do you want to just hop into the studio and record a pod?
Do you want to do that?
No, I do not.
Exactly.
No, I do not.
No, we're going to have a break.
Immediately start drinking eggnog
for reals.
with whiskey in it.
We're going to have coffee cake. Yeah. We're going to have a breakfast casserole.
That's right.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to worry about my job.
Okay, so next week we're not going to be here, guys.
Yeah.
And we hope that you don't have to work either.
Yeah.
We hope that if you celebrate and however you celebrate, that you have a wonderful holiday.
Yes.
Whether it's Hanukkah, whether it's Kwanzaa, whether
Yule.
it's Christmas, whether it's Yule, whether you're a proper pagan holiday. Whatever you do, we just hope that you have a wonderful time and that you're surrounded by love and warmth and trash.
Yes.
The best possible trash. All right, is there anything else that we need to say to these beautiful raccoons before we get up on out of here, Beatrice?
Well, if you love our podcast, I sure hope and plead that you go to your favorite podcast platform and leave us a glowing 5-star review. It costs you nothing and it helps us grow the pod, and we really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
We do appreciate it. We'll be back later this week because we've got some raccoons who have called in. So we're going to be continuing our conversation around the Browns and the Mormons.
Yes.
So do come back for that. But until next time, please do not forget that we have nothing but love for you, and peace out.
Bye.
Bye, guys.